Hi everyone, it's Kino. I'm here at the Jivamukti Center in Berlin, and today's clip is going to be about hyperextended elbows. A lot of people have been asking me what to do when the elbows hyperextend. Well, I know this from first-hand experience. One of the things that often goes on with hyperextension is over time, if you put a lot of weight on a hyperextended joint, you can wear away the joint tissues and harm the joint capsule and ultimately wear down the cartilage that really supports and holds the joint together. So my elbows hyperextend. Now, if you don't have hyperextended elbows or joints, this is not something you need to worry about. But a good way to test to see if your elbows hyperextend is if you just straighten your arm out, and if you're able to really push the elbow joint out and then let the hand go forward. That would be a good example of hyperextension. So when the hand goes down, you can see that the elbow is no longer straight, but it's a little kinked out to the side, and that smile of the elbow points outward. Now, you don't want to bear weight on your arm when it's in this position, otherwise you can wear down the cartilage around the elbow joint, and it also really doesn't build a good connection to the ground through the hands. So what you want to do if you're working with hyperextension is you want to focus on balance, the opposing forces that work in your arm. Hyperextension usually is involved in an external spiral or an external reach. For example, when the elbows turn outward like that, it's almost like the energy is rising up the spine and spiraling outward. So you can kind of see that when I put my hands on the ground. In order to hyperextend, the weight has to be a little bit more into the pinky finger, and then that allows the elbow to hyperextend. Again, that's not something you would want to do. So instead of just trying to correct by positioning the elbow in like a lockdown format, what I found is that in order to work with hyperextension, you have to balance that external energy with an internal spiral, or an internal reach. And the way to do that is to reach forward through the index finger. So for example, if the hand is on the ground, to balance hyperextension, instead of just positioning the elbow in a certain place, instead of following the external spiral, what we want to do is press weight forward into the index finger, and that will bring the shoulder a little bit forward and the elbow a little bit forward. And once you can feel the balance between the external reach and the internal reach, the external energy and the internal focus, that will automatically position your elbow in the right position and combat hyperextension. I'll show you what that looks like when you're standing on the hands and knees, right? So if you're preparing to balance on your arms or handstand, this is kind of when hyperextension comes in. So hyperextended elbows kind of look like that, and again, it's not a weight-bearing position. Over time, it's not how you want to use your arm. You can see how all of my energy is kind of going towards the outside, so I'm working the external energy right now. So in order to balance that, I'm going to grip with my fingertips a little, then I'm going to press into the base of the index finger, and that immediately turns the elbow joint forward. There's a plane that's created through the bottom of the wrist. Once you find that perfect balance between the external spiral and the internal spiral, the smile of the elbow will point forward approximately 45 degrees out of that plane of the wrist that's created right here. And this is a wonderful way to work with hyperextension, because rather than saying you have to micro bend here or you have to lock the elbow or unlock the elbow, you focus on the flow of energy in the body. And when that happens, you not only work with healing and energy flow, but you also work with really healthy alignment of the body. So just to go over that one more time, if you have hyperextended elbows, instead of following that external reach and just hanging on the joint, you want to keep some bit of the external reach, but balance that by gripping the fingertips, spiraling your energy inward, pressing to the base of the index finger, and letting the elbow joint spin forward approximately 45 degrees, and this will take you out of that locked elbow position. Your joints will need to be supported by the muscular work of your deltoid up here, your bicep, and all of the connective tissue around the elbows. If you have hyperextended elbows or hyperextended joints, it's really hard not to hyperextend. But over time, this will really help you build more health and safety really in your joints, and keep the longevity of your practice and the stability of your practice long term. Thanks so much for watching.